Hello, everyone. On this week's Energy QuickChat, we speak to Laila Bastati, Managing Director at Energy Capital and Power. Thanks for speaking with us today on Energy QuickChat, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Shimona, for having me.
Great. So, to my first question, you were at the Afreximbank annual meetings in Cairo, Egypt, a few weeks ago. What are your key takeaways from the event?
I was indeed, and it was a very constructive event. Really, the impact of the word of the Afreximbank on African development cannot be overstated. Over the decades, the institution has provided billions in investments across the continent and contributed to significant economic growth. And in that way, the key takeaway mirrors the bank's work. Like Dr. Orama, the president of the bank, defended, African problems need African solutions. And that belief is something we at Energy Capital and Power have been defending for years. Waiting for external entities to solve Africa's challenges will not take us anywhere. The rest of the world has its own challenges, as the present international outlook shows that quite well. And we believe that it is time for Africa to take the lead in driving itself forward.
So, as an investment platform, how is Energy Capital and Power driving more energy investments on the continent?
Well, Energy Capital and Power sees Africa as the continent that can not only secure its own energy security through its own resources, but that can also contribute to Europe's energy security. And this is undoubtedly something that the continent has been doing for decades with its oil and LNG developments. We know that opportunities in Africa are rich and diverse, and across the continent, we see ever larger renewables developments, hydrogen projects, power infrastructure projects, alongside, obviously, oil and gas investments. Energy is the foundation of many of Africa's economies, and Energy Capital and Power supports the growth of energy sectors through our active outreach to global partners. At our events, we bring together global and African energy stakeholders, and we provide the best opportunities to drive investment in African energy.
Right. So, speaking of events, how will the upcoming MSGBC Oil, Gas and Power Conference help end energy poverty in the region?
Well, since 2019, the MSGBC region has been witness to a number of very sizable oil and gas discoveries that have the potential to transform the regional economic space. The MSGBC region is at the forefront of assuring European and West African energy security. And the importance of the gas finds in Senegal and Mauritania cannot be underestimated, because these reserves will power West Africa and have the potential to power Europe for many years to come. And in the current times, once again, this resource is more valuable than ever. Think about Senegal, for example. It combines renewables, gas and hydrogen in a unique market that is open, safe and accessible. And this is truly remarkable. We believe that the MSGBC region should be at the central focus of European and American investors, due to both the proximity of the markets, the size of gas resources, and obviously the diversity of the opportunities. And this is where MSGBC Oil, Gas and Power 2022 conference comes in, because the event serves as the official meeting place for the MSGBC region, and will be the place to sign deals and secure investments for upcoming projects. As we well know, simply having the resources is not enough for any country. And by providing a platform where international investors can be introduced to African opportunities, ECPs ensures development takes off and energy poverty is alleviated.
Right. So how do we convince investors that the sub-Saharan African region is ready for energy investments?
I don't think is a question of convincing or a matter of convincing investors anymore, but rather showing them. Countries across the continent have been committed to political, economic, and regulatory reforms. They have implemented market-driven policies, and they have established an enabling environment for foreign investments. So in doing so, these countries have created even more attractive energy markets while ensuring investments are secured and reap high returns. And once again, ECP's events showcase these very developments, providing insight into relevant markets, regulations, and trends, and overall making a strong case for African investment.
Right. So how will the South Sudan Oil and Power Conference impact energy ambitions for the country?
Well, we are very happy that we are celebrating the 5th anniversary of South Sudan Oil and Power that will take place in Juba on September 13th and 14th. Mm-hmm. And this anniversary, I believe, also shows just how much of an impact this event has on this young nation. We know that in East Africa, there is no more interesting and profitable place to do business in energy today. South Sudan is the only it's the only oil producing nation in East Africa. And it also has an important role to play in the development of the energy market in the region at large, obviously. We in ECP have seen enormous changes in South Sudan since our first conference in 2017. And the message that we want to convey is obviously that people need to understand that the energy industry is the only foundation on which we can build development in the region. It is the only way, and this is one of the reasons why the government has always been so keen on partnering with us to attract foreign capital. During the 2022 edition of the event, we will be tackling the issues at hand head first. We need to open the conversation about international sanctions, barriers to doing business, and about also infrastructural needs. And this is because this is truly the only way the country will achieve its ambitions of development. And I believe we at ECP are helping to address those issues with the right people at the right time.
Okay, so should we look forward to more regional energy cooperation in Africa after these conferences?
Well, absolutely. We've just covered thoroughly what the angle of this conference is, but obviously Energy Capital and Power's events center on regional cooperation and integration. We are extremely proud of the high level of government representatives and private sector players from across the continent that we managed to bring together at our events. Be it in MSGBC in West Africa, South Sudan as a gateway to East Africa, or Angola Oil and Gas, which is the platform for promoting Southern African energy. ECP's goal is always to promote regional and continental collaboration and synergies because we see this as the only path to promote development in Africa and eradicate energy poverty.
Right. We thank you so much for your time here on Energy QuickChat, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Amana. It was an honor.
Great. Laila Bastati, Managing Director at Energy Capital and Power. See you next time on Energy QuickChat, where we speak to leaders from the energy sector.